What you guys, got another mini PC here for you from the Minisforum. This is the U820. They do also another version called the U850 Mini PC. The processor in it is an 8th gen i5 8259U. They also do a 10th gen i5 10210U processor for the U850 version. Now this is a desktop machine. It's not an out-and-out gaming machine, but you can play some games with it. I'll show you all the benchmarks and some gaming tests a little bit later on in the video. Now also this does come with 16 gigs of memory and plenty of room for expansion, and an NVMe drive in here as well, which gives you that added speed for moving data around and stuff like that. So let's take a look at the package here. You'll get the user manual, which gives you all the information you need about the unit that you purchase, on how to set it up and how to upgrade it, and how to do certain things in here. So very useful color pictures, and also useful information in there written in English as well. It does come with a couple of cables here. This one is your HDMI cable, which is gold plated tips on the end there. As you can see, pretty small short cable, so you can always upgrade these if you wish. It does come with a DP cable in here as well, if that's what you want to use instead. And again, we've got the English plug on here with the power cable. If yours is in another country, it will have your type of plug on it. And then you've got the power adapter here, nice and small power adapter, just to power the actual unit as well, with the Type-C connector on here to power the device. Very nice indeed. LED light on here as well to tell you when the power is on. And we've got our bracket here so you can wall mount it or put it onto the back of a monitor. It does come with a bunch of screws, which is useful for all of your drives if you're upgrading this inside as well, for plenty more storage depending on what you're going to use it for. And this is the actual unit itself. So this device is more geared for desktop applications. It can do a bit of gaming, but on here you can see we have our inputs here. So let's take a look. We've got our microphone here. We've also got our Type-C connector on here as well. And we have our USB 3.1 ports on here. So you've got two of them on the front here, and there's another two on the back. And again, we've got our headphone input here, and then we've got our power button here to power on the device as well. So let's take a look on the side of the device here. This just gives us some ventilation along here. Moving on round to the back of the device, we've got another two USB 3.1 ports on the back here. We've also got HDMI and a DP port here for display. We've got two Ethernet ports. One is 2.5 and one is a 1 gigabit Ethernet port. And then we've got our power input, which is the Type-C connector, and your Kensington lock. And this is your exhaust here for all the heat which will be coming out the back from inside of the device. On the bottom of the device, we've got some more ventilation, some anti-slip rubber feet on here. So pretty nice design. These probably make some of the best mini PCs on the market, I would say, Minisforum. So check them out. You've got this push button here, push the two buttons, and it gives you access to inside of the device itself. Now, Wi-Fi here is dual band Wi-Fi, and also 5.1 Bluetooth support is pre-installed. And if you want to get access to more drives, you can just undo this one screw here, and this gives you two added additional expansion slots here for your 2.5-inch SSDs if you want to put them inside here. So it can hold two of them inside here, which is very nice indeed for extra storage. Now the main drive itself is a Kingston 256 gig NVMe drive here. This can be upgraded as well, and you've got two memory slots here, 16 gigabytes dual channel memory. It can take up to 64 gigabytes of memory as well. So you can see that Kingston drive right here. That just releases one little screw. I'll give you a close up here so you can actually see more detail inside here. Now the GPU is built in. It's an Intel Iris Plus graphics on here, which is UHD graphics, 300 megahertz to 1.1 gigahertz on here, which is pretty nice indeed. Let's take a look at putting this back together. Pretty straightforward and easy to do. Just put the screw back in. Now the CPU in here is the i5 8259U that has 4 cores and 8 threads, 6 meg cache, and up to 3.8 gigahertz, and boosting up to 4.20 gigahertz for the CPU itself. So plenty powerful for applications, 4K movies, Plex, and also some gaming as well, as you'll see in this video. So it's a nice little device here. Just put the top on by just pushing these buttons back down, and then we'll do some benchmarking. So let's take a look at Geekbench first, and we'll run the CPU benchmark here so you can see. So on the single core, we got 1016, and on the multi-core, we got 3883. If you're interested in some of the information down below on this one, I'll just quickly scroll down so you can see here what the information is for the actual CPU and other stuff like that. And I'll also show you some of the other information that you'll get on some of the benchmarks that it's done when it's to get to that score there. So Geekbench is a pretty good benchmark for testing these little machines here, as you can see here. Now, Minisforum do many different types of mini PCs, so always check out the specifications and always check out what the actual mini PC can do and what it can't do. I'll try and cover as much as I can in this video so you get a good idea of the sort of power of this little unit here. So we're going to run the GPU test here now on Geekbench as well, and that's 8,740. Now, these are not mind-blowing scores for a little mini PC for that type of thing, but I just wanted to put all this together so you can get an idea of what it can do and what it can't do. So I'm going to put Shadow of the Tomb Raider on here, and we're going to turn this down to low settings because obviously it's not going to be able to play high settings for a game like Shadow of the Tomb Raider because it doesn't have a standalone GPU on here. So it will literally cause this to struggle a little bit. So let's just turn this down and just see whether it can handle the low settings for a game like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So let's go back, and you can see there's a little bit of loss of detail here. The snow has been reduced and a lot of other detail has been turned off, but it is playable, as you can see here, nice and smooth. Not so bad at all for a little device like this, which isn't really geared up for gaming as such. It's for desktop use. You can probably use Photoshop and applications like Office and other things like that, but it can play the odd game like this as well on low detail, which I think is pretty impressive for such a small little device like this little mini PC here. Now, they do actually do some much more higher powered types of devices if you're looking for an out-and-out gaming machine on a mini PC. Now, it can handle things like CSGO. I just left this on stock as you install and open it, and literally it was playing this no problem at all, nice and smooth. Now, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be able to play other games as well. I just wanted to give you an idea of what it's like to play games on this little device like this. Again, this is onboard graphics as well, but I think the 16 gigabytes dual channel memory is helping out here quite a bit for this little mini PC. And I didn't put up the frames per second on the screen here because I didn't want to confuse people thinking I'm trying to palm this off as a gaming device when really it's just a little mini PC that can do a bit of everything really. So it's a pretty nice little mini computer that can play games and also applications, Office applications and things like that, no problem at all. And if you wanted to use this for, say, for instance, Plex or something like that, you could quite easily use this for Plex movies, 4K movies and things like that as well. So the whole purpose of this is to just show you how powerful this little PC is and basically what it can handle and what it can't handle. And so far, I'm pretty impressed by what it can actually do for such a small little PC here. Let me just tap this guy here and we'll move on to the next segment here so we can take a look here. Now, that can play Dirt Rally. I tried Dirt Rally 4 as well, which I want to show you next. So here's this Dirt Rally 4. And again, I just put it on and literally I'm playing it as it is. I've not touched the settings or anything, and let's see how well this plays here. Now, obviously, the detail might be lost a little bit with something like this because obviously it's going to have to turn those graphics down a little bit to be able to play something like this. You can see it's handling this game no problem at all. So if you want something for a little bit of light gaming, then something like this can actually handle the job pretty well. So once we've got this little bit of gameplay out the way, what I'm going to do is show you some 4K playback here. So we can do 4K movies playback on this device, and we can also do streaming of 4K on YouTube as well with this little mini PC, which if that's what you want for something like a 4K streaming device, then something like this can handle this no problem whatsoever. As you can see here, there's no jerkiness here at all, and we're not getting any stuttering. So I can play this 4K content no problem at all, and you can do 4K triple display on here because the output for HDMI, DP and USB Type-C as well. So pretty decent all-round little machine here. It does come with Windows 10 Pro on here, which is a nice added touch. It is Intel Octane memory ready, And it does come with the Kingston 256 drive in here, which is an NVMe drive, but you can upgrade that as well if you wanted to. So let's take a look at Cinebench here. Now, I'm not expecting this to break any sort of records here, but we'll just give it an idea of what the Cinebench score is, because I know people will probably want to see that. So I'll speed this process up and get to the end so you can see what the Cinebench score is for this little device. And we'll take a closer look. It's coming to the end, and there we go. That's a score of 1,319 on Cinebench release 2.0. So let's take a look at the sequential reads and writes for the drive so you can get an idea of what that's like. And there we go. For the sequential reads and writes is 2,536 reads, and we've got 1,269.62 writes on there. For the 4K, you got 372.79 and 243.36 for the writes for 4K content. Looking at the temperatures here, you can see the temps are pretty good as well. Under Cinebench, it did get to about 80, but I would expect that for Cinebench because it does tax the machine quite well, and it's expected to get the chip nice and toasty, and that's what it does, and that's what it's designed to do. But you can see here the temperatures are pretty good for such a small little device. Nothing too crazy on the temperature front here for standard stock temps where you're not doing anything, idle temps. And again, applications and things like that are not going to push this beyond its limits. So anything like that it can handle pretty well. Let's take a look at Heaven Benchmark here. You can see I'm not expecting this to be super high scores here, but I just wanted to show you so you get an idea. So frames per second was 18.5. The score was 466. Minimum frames per second was 5.5, which isn't a lot, and maximum frames per second was 46.7. Well, that was the Minisforum Desk Mini U820. They also do a U850, so pretty decent little mini PC. I'll leave all the information in the video description so you can check it out. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Big shout out to my YouTube members. Hope this video give you all the information you need. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Bye for now.